and I'm a high earner, so it's a big fucking L for me if I get married. Go ahead.
A lot of girls do want to get married, and I think it would be really hard for you to find a girl that's going to be a lifelong partner with you if you're not going to put a ring on her finger.
And it's also hard to find a lifelong partner.
I was just saying, like, without the ring, like, she's not going to want to be with you forever.
She's going to dip.
But if you find
girls
a woman
love
like that,
commitment.
What do you think, Kaylin?
I think the same thing. If you're not going to commit to her fully, like in marriage, she's not going to want to stay with you, because why would she want to stay with you if there's like a chance you're not going to tell other girls you're married, so other girls are going to think like they can have a chance.
Well, I can be monogamous.
Yeah, you can.
What does you can be monogamous outside of a marriage?
Again, if there's no ring on your finger, though, a girl can assume whatever she wants.
It shows
that's a bigger problem for women than it is men.
It shows lack of commitment.
Lack of commitment.
It doesn't show that you're as interested in the girl as they are probably in you.
Does any other woman who dates and deals with men wake up on a Sunday morning and be like, oh fuck, I'm the problem? Because that's me today. I realize that I am the issue. I called a guy at 2 a.m. last night, told him to come over. Okay, all right. He's a roster member. I call him Little Chico, and I do in fact call him that to his face. What are you gonna do? Anyways, all right, Nicole. And he said when he was leaving, looking forward to the next 2 a.m. call. And I go, oh fuck. Oh, wow. And last night I also gave my number to a bartender on my receipt. And he texted me, hey, how you doing? What's up? Okay. Nicole, what are you doing? Like, I don't know. I'm like, as a girl who complains about fuckboys a lot, I'm like, I think I'm the issue. I'm the fuck girl. Oh my God. So I guess next steps are, do I do something about it? I just don't really have time right now. Like, I'm a little stressed, and that's fine, but I just don't really have time to date. I don't know. So that's why I'm like, do I just keep fucking around and just doing this shit? I don't know. Also, last night was a night where I was like, oh, I'm not going out. Obviously, I ended up out. So yeah, I realize I'm the problem, and probably gonna keep going. Love these chips. All right, bye.
Sis, listen. I know there are times that we make mistakes with our coochies. Don't worry, you're not alone. All you need to do is reset that kitty. Reprogram that coochie. Clear your coochie cache. You have to remember that you are the master of your domain. You are the queen of your motherfucking castle. And also remember that if it didn't feel good, it doesn't fucking count. Fuck I look like. I'm not adding that to my body count. Get the fuck out of here.
Hey, bestie! You're wrong. I think it's time for another adult pre-K lesson. What do you think? All right, turn your listening ears on. Catch a bubble in your mouth. Good job. Okay, here's the thing. Having a preference is something like, I'm looking for a partner who likes kayaking, or wakes up early in the morning, or loves pizza. But when your preferences exclude an entire group of marginalized people, that's problematic. Okay, that's not nice. That's not a preference. If you lump all fat people in one group together as though they are not very different individuals, that's fatphobic. Just like lumping all black people in one group and saying, I don't like black people is racist. And lumping all disabled people in one group and saying, I don't think people in wheelchairs are hot is ableist. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Siri, why am I single?
Maybe if you'd stop being a stupid bitch and reply to the people that actually show interest in you instead of chasing someone that you know.
The most eye-opening thing I ever learned about men was from my college human sexuality class, where the professor told us that men don't actually like women. Not all men. Sure, but hang in. He said that the way that our society socializes boys to, quote, become men is not to tell them how to be men. It's just to teach them how to not be women. Don't cry, be a man. Don't be a pussy, be a man. Don't be weak, be a man. Don't be sensitive, be a man. Don't like those things. Those are girl things. And the tool we use to do that kind of socializing, to steer them away from feminine things, is shame. And you just can't go your whole life being told that the worst thing you could do is be like a woman and expect to actually like women at the end of that. But they are also taught that their sexual attractiveness to women and their ability to get women is a status symbol in front of other men. So they will sexually pursue women, but they don't actually like them as people. This is how patriarchal masculinity socializes men, and why shame, violence, and disgust are so intricately linked.
I find it really interesting that men say stuff like this and then in the same breath complain about how the penal system isn't fair to men, or how family courts aren't fair to men, or how male victims don't have a lot of recognition or mental health resources. Like, who did that?
So I'm not going to pretend I have any answers for this male loneliness epidemic thing going on, because I feel like it's a complex issue, and also some of those guys, it is their fault, and then others it's not. But something I've always found really interesting is that in platonic female friendships, women are very strongly encouraged to give each other a lot of both emotional and physical love and support. And I'm not saying that every woman has friends like that and no men have friends like that. I'm just talking about like what's generally encouraged by society. During the time periods in my life where I've been single, at least as an adult, I've never felt lonely or alone. And never felt a rush to get into a relationship because I have a lot of physical and emotional love and support from my female friends around me. I get a lot of hugs, I get a lot of compliments, I get a lot of like, you are important to me and I value you in my life, let's spend time together, etc. But I was talking to a male friend about this recently, and he was saying that the last time that he got like a genuine hug from a man was when he was like 12. And so the only real genuine physical contact that he ever gets is if he's either hooking up with or in a relationship with a woman. And ironically, the guys I know who do treat their friendships like that are often made fun of for being feminine. Again, I'm not presenting this as like an answer to a problem or something, it's just something relevant that I've been thinking about.
Accepting that you are most likely going to be alone for the rest of your life is a really hard pill to swallow. And it's not even because there's anything wrong with me or that I am not deserving. I'm just tired. I've spent most of my life recovering from men who have caused so much trauma. My physical brain cannot handle anymore. It is always in survival mode. It is always in fight or flight mode. My brain has never fully recovered from the trauma that has been caused. I meet guys and I feel like I'm constantly looking for a reason to not trust them because I have never experienced a good man before. Like, I've never been in a good, healthy relationship. I don't even know what that looks like. I don't even know what to look for. I don't know what is normal. I've never experienced normal. How am I supposed to know? And now I'm 37 and every man that I meet is disappointing and doesn't add value to my life, doesn't make me happy, and I just don't want to settle anymore. How do I know if someone is the one? I mean, is there something wrong with me? I question it all the time, but I know that I'm just fucking traumatized. What does a loving man feel like? What does a healthy relationship feel like? What does it feel like when you have found your person? I've been in so many relationships, long relationships, and no one has ever added value to my life or made me feel like I was enough. And it makes me sad that I have never gotten to experience this. It genuinely makes me sad. But I just don't know if it actually exists. So I will probably be alone. And that scares me, but I am slowly accepting that this is probably my fate. And I need to learn to love myself, and I need to tell myself that that is enough, that I don't need a partner to be whole. And that is my journey right now. I'm not an expert. I am not putting expert advice into the world. This is just my journey and what I'm going through right now. And if you're going through the same, you're not alone. I don't know, maybe that's my purpose, to learn to be on my own and let others know that it's okay.
Every one of these women is trapped in her own contradictions, craving love while rejecting accountability, blaming men for the chaos they create, and calling dysfunction empowerment.
The way that you're presenting yourself publicly and bragging about being a Like your time is limited and the clock is ticking and it's not going to age well. I just, we all make choices, especially if you're going to go into that industry that you think are empowering you. And in some ways it does. But the overall long-term consequences is that you're going to be viewed through a very specific lens for the rest of your life. And that is a debt that is very hard to pay. So I just want to be a warning to all of you that the money is great. And when you're in it, you think that price is totally worth it. But there's a lot that's going to come up in ways that you cannot even imagine that will haunt you. Taking the short, fun ride is not worth it long term.
Maybe some of us just like on camera.
Okay.
Like, I don't see why.
So next question.
She heard every word she said, and it cut like knives. So she replies with something trifling and disgusting, to make it seem like she doesn't care.
Who's more physically attractive, Brad Pitt or Donald Trump?
I don't think either of them are attractive.
I'm straight, and I know who's more physically attractive.
Donald Trump, Brad Pitt.
I don't think she answered.
Am I supposed to answer if Donald Trump is attractive?
You could just be good faith and just answer the question.
Okay, would you like me to say that Brad Pitt fits the Western beauty standard?
It's not what I would like you to say. It's what I'm asking you.
It feels like you're waiting for me to say something very specific, and that's why I feel like I'm at a loss right now.
So you're saying, are you saying that you don't have the mental capacity to make a determination right here and right now who is more physically attractive, Brad Pitt or Donald Trump? That's the question. You need not belabor the point any further. Just answer the questions.
I just said that Brad Pitt adheres to the Western beauty standard.
That's not really what she said. She said, are you wanting me to answer in this way? Verbatim? I want you to just say the truth.
I did say according to the Western beauty standard.
No, you did. The question is, who do you find more attractive? And when you say Brad Pitt fits the Western beauty standard, that's not answering the question. That's dancing around the question.
It never fails, gentlemen. The mental gymnastics are astonishing with these women.
What is a woman?
A woman is somebody who presents as our social conception of womanhood.
So Pixie, just can you answer that question without using the word woman or womanhood?
It's because basically it would be a functional definition. So as a society, we have an understanding of what woman is. I didn't check your chromosomes before coming in here and calling you a man, and you didn't check my chromosomes before coming in here.
Or genitals.
Or genitals, calling me a woman.
So first of all, you can't give me a definition without using the word woman. Can you give me an objective, a functional, utilitarian, any sort of biological definition of what a woman is? Because how can we debate feminism if we can't agree what a woman is?
I would define it only slightly differently, which is that it's a person who performs a set of social roles that are typically associated with feminine characteristics.
Do you think anyone can become a woman?
Yep.
Okay, so then at what point do they become a woman?
It will depend on where they are in their gender transition for the most part.
Does it require drugs to become a woman?
No.
Personally, I think it's a mindset. It's a spiritual energy. It's the vibe that you give off.
Woman is just a spiritual energy, a vibe that you give off. My deepest condolences to my brothers in the West. I can understand your pain.
I feel like you have a very high expectation of femininity, which is fine. I don't think that you quite meet the standards of masculinity that I would see. And so I think that it's unfair if you're not going to meet standards of masculinity to have certain standards of femininity.
What are the standards of masculinity?
It goes far beyond like your financial income. I think that men should be fit. I think they should be strong, able to protect. I think that they should be mentally and emotionally able to provide. Not short-tempered would be.
I've been super patient this entire show. You guys have been a little feral tonight, not gonna lie. My patience was exhausted. Before the show, we give you guys instructions on our expectations of you. We say don't do sidebar conversations. We say all these things. You guys have been just completely feral. Like if you poke even a really patient person far enough, yeah, they're gonna get frustrated.
You have been a little bit short-tempered. My husband in 15 years has never even raised his voice at me. And I will say I'm kind of difficult. I will give him that.
Oh, well now we're talking about something different. Actually, let's explore this. You're difficult how?
I can have a bit of a temper sometimes.
Interesting. You have the temper, and your husband does what when you have a temper?
He tells me to take a breath and calm down a little bit.
But it's a behavior that you've been with him for 15 years. It seems like your husband has not laid a strong enough boundary in your relationship, which I think would actually indicate a lack of masculinity on your husband's part.
I strongly disagree.
Hold on. Your husband tolerating 15 years of, I have an attitude problem, I'm sorry. That's not masculinity.
He has never raised his voice at me. And the Bible calls for men to treat their women with understanding.
Proverbs 21:19. Better to live in a desert than with a quarreling and nagging wife. You just admitted that you've been, for vast amounts of your marriage, difficult.
A masculine man does not put up with that level of disrespect. That definitely didn't go how she thought it would.
You assumed that whoever you impregnate, whether you marry her or not, she is going to give your biological child your last name.
Yeah.
But she is well within her legal rights, and most states, especially when the parents are not married.
Whoa, wait, hold on. Even if I'm married to her, she's well within her legal rights.
Absolutely.
To dispute the name of the child and want the last name. So I don't see why marriage is related to this. And ultimately, I don't know exactly the legal framework of what would happen if under a marriage there was a dispute as to the last name of the child. I don't know what would happen. I'm assuming the hospital would probably defer to the mother, probably.
Yeah.
So marriage wouldn't even protect me in that situation.
But why would she have to defer to you for the child's last name?
Why would a woman have to acquiesce even in the marriage?
Because typically a woman who gets married and takes her husband's last name will give her child her husband's last name. It's her last name
trust
too.
me, a lot of women run their shit even in marriage. In fact,
so a woman
I think men get more cucked. I think men get more cucked in marriage. Like women will use marriage as leverage to get their will.
If a man reaches a point where he's arguing with his girl about whose last name the kids should get, he's clearly chosen the wrong woman. This shouldn't even be a discussion.
Who you marry is the single most important decision you will make in your entire life, and you have to pick wisely, and a lot of people do not pick wisely. You got to be aligned on values. You got to make sure that they're the kind of person that's going to stick through in thick and thin, you know, and that they're going to be there by your side for the rest of your lives. And finding people like that, especially in today's day and age, it's difficult. You know, a lot of people our age, they lack virtue, right? And they lack really solid values. And when you find somebody like that, you got to hold on to them. So that's why I'm not married yet.
Their friends are just as important as the woman you're considering marrying. Their friends can convince them to leave you.
And I think the other thing as well is that women back then were more loyal than they are now, because women back then understood like duty overrode everything, versus nowadays women get married more for like, you know, to say I'm married for the wedding, for the occasion, and then they also get married for happiness, right? And that's like one of the biggest things is that women get married for happiness, which is why if they don't feel happy, they end the relationship and they're more likely to end the divorce.
That's for damn sure. A marriage starts having issues and they bolt.
Prenups are regularly thrown out all the time. They're typically non-enforceable, especially the longer the marriage goes on, the less likely they are to be enforced. So, you know, you hear a lot of these stories, prenups just get thrown out. I think are going to have to rewrite the marriage laws to incentivize men to get married, because men are waking up to the fact that men get absolutely destroyed in marriage and in divorce. Financially, when it comes to the kids, women are more likely to get custody. 50% of marriages end in divorce. I think you said 80% of divorces are initiated by women.
90% if she's college educated.
90% if she's college educated. 90% of child support payments go from men to women. 97% of alimony payments go from men to women. So it's just marriage. If you're a betting man, it's not a good bet.
It's a very bad deal. There is a high chance she will leave you anyway. Men don't do it.
If you could only pick one, marriage or career, which would you choose? If you had to choose. Can we do that?
Yeah, can I add one thing? So is it great, amazing career or beautiful, healthy family?
That's correct.
Okay, that was
if you had to choose. Now, you can have both in life, but if you could only pick one.
I would say marriage.
Marriage.
Yeah, the healthy family.
Family.
Marriage.
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 They all said the same thing because none of them wanted to be the oddball outside the park. That's called hive-minded.
There's a lot of discourse about why doesn't my boyfriend propose to me? We've been together for such a long time, but he hasn't talked about marriage. He doesn't bring up the conversation. He actively avoids conversations around marriage and commitment, the next step. And I was just thinking about this. I don't know why I'm thinking about this today. Like, it's so random. Maybe I need to talk about this and someone needs to hear this. So this relationship that I was in, like, a long time ago, like in my 20s. So my boyfriend at the time, like, he was very much, like, eager to talk about marriage. Like, he would always talk about, like, marriage. Like, he would, like, actively talk about us getting married. And anytime he would do that, I would, like, change the subject. I would just not really respond. I would, like, not really just react much because I did not want to marry him. Like, that sounds fucked up. Like, I didn't want to marry him. I knew I wasn't going to marry him. I even knew he was not
real. Like I didn't want to marry him. Oh my god, this is like so fucked up. Now looking back, I don't think I liked him that much. Like I was just really heavily attached to this person. Like it was anyways. Anyway, so it's just logically thinking about it, right? Like if you're talking about marriage and your partner is not really responsive, it's probably because they don't want to marry you. Like even if they're like, you know, even if the issue is the logistics, like maybe you could say, okay, then they're not financially ready, like so they're not really talking about it because they're not actually ready, like financially. But I feel like it's like deeper than that. I think somebody can want to be with you and like enjoy the relationship for what it is right now, but like thinking about like long term, like marriage, commitment, like I think that's like a huge step that people are not going to be comfortable with if they're not seeing that with you specifically. This is not really like professional advice. This is more like my personal opinion, because as I was like just thinking about this like memory, like I'm just cringing right now because on his behalf, but also for myself, like the fact that I was with someone that I didn't even like that much. Oh my god, like it's kind of like cringy because like I said, it's because of the attachment issues that I had. Of course I was young, right? And so it's just funny like looking at it, like these relationships where people are with each other based on trauma bonds and attachment issues and codependency issues, they definitely exist. So I think what I'm trying to say is like, if you're asking like why doesn't he want to marry me, like why is he not proposing, consider the fact that like he might not want to marry you like me. I could want to be with you, not anymore. I don't have this mindset anymore. Like you could very much want to be with someone but doesn't mean that you want to marry them. Just protect yourself from these people. Yeah.
He didn't want to marry you because deep down, he knew you weren't sure about him to begin with. No man wants to commit to someone half invested, unsure, or emotionally detached. You treated him like an option, and now you're shocked he never saw you as his forever.
Ladies, here's the thing. We want men to be husbands. We want the rings and the things. But family, we cannot advocate for marriage without addressing the full picture, the elephant in the room. Women aren't bred to be wives today. Past generations have raised us up to pursue a career. Forget the man. He's an afterthought. Because when the man act up, you have an out, that degree that you can fall back on. And now, family, we have women who have been bred to be more of a husband than a wife. Let's keep it real. What is society teaching us? Look at the propaganda. Look at the social media. We can't continue to come at men for their lack of commitment, but not also state the obvious. There's a shortage of women worth making long-term or lifelong commitments to. We aren't training up wives. We're training up hypersexual, petty, money-hungry, cannot take any accountability, insecure, immature, women that can't even cover a pot, let alone a man. Women with the mentality that anything goes as long as I'm making $1 from it. Hyper-independent, attention-seeking, career-obsessed, not nurturing, selfish, girlfriend at best women. We want men to lock things down. And I agree, men should. But we gotta give them something worth committing to. And our media isn't pushing that agenda. It's keeping us single. So family, ladies, stop buying the lies of culture. That's what's keeping us single. Let us start focus on becoming the wife that God has created you to be.
We're afraid it's too late. We need a new female generation to be raised under true family values to even think about marriage.
Question. You ever hear women ask, why don't men want to get married anymore?
Is it just me, or you be talking to somebody or even dating somebody, right? And be so in love, like just love this motherfucker. See absolutely no wrong in them, just love them. Then one day you're just like, I don't like you no more. We could be having a good day. And I just be like, I don't like you no more. I don't like the person you are. I don't like the way you move. I don't like the way you think. I just don't like you. So I want to leave. Just like that. Like, I want to go. I don't want to talk anymore. Is that just me?
All right, y'all. Question is, why are men saying no to marriage? Good question. Let's get into it, family. Number one, perception of the loss of freedom.
I pray that none of you guys choose a spouse that makes you feel like you have to lose yourself in order to be with them. Number 2, fears about potential divorce. Number 3, unwillingness to make the sacrifices that marriage requires. Number 4, men today can get the benefits of a connection with a woman without commitment. Thank you, modern dating. Number 5, there is not a lot of messaging about how marriage actually benefits men. Based upon what we see in media, it seems like it's just a contractual agreement that benefits women. But we know there are some benefits, and there are some strong male voices in the men's space have and still advocate for marriage. Again, y'all, I know this ain't popular, but I do believe the enemy is at work in our marriages and in destroying families, and I don't want him to win.
Marriage was the worst thing that can ever happen to men in this modern women era. Thanks for watching Manhood. If you want access to exclusive episodes and want to support the channel, hit that join button and become a member. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if it hit home. Drop your stories and thoughts in the comments. We read everyone. See you tomorrow.